Okay, what I'm going to talk about in this video is how we relate through motivation. Basically, what separates people, what is what is boundedness, is related to these four kinds of motivation, which are called the boundless abodes. And then if you're moving towards those boundless states, loving kindness, joy, equanimity, compassion, that is a boundary principle. That is your boundaries. Those are your boundaries. Because people who are at a level of self-grasping, people who are at a debasing level of motivation, such as a competitive motivation, these people are not inside your boundary principle. This is there's no relation there, but as the Buddha said, there are these 6 directions. People who are beneath you is one of your 6 directions, and so we have to understand the ground. What happens when we purify the motivation that is this tainted motivation of self-grasping, is that it becomes a what you call accomplishing wisdom. And so Guru Rinpoche was able to purify this self-grasping, and in order to create an accomplishing wisdom, it's related to 2 principles. One of those is clothing, the other one is shelter, or in general you could say a mandala principle, and a clothing principle, or a surfaces principle. And those surface principles are called surfaces of contact. And that's a 6-fold sensual principle of these basic 6 aesthetic modes, or 6 forms of beauty. And those 6 forms of beauty need to be present in the mandala principle, and they need to be present in terms of our boundaries. These aesthetics will purify these unwholesome motivations, and that's the basic idea. In terms of the internal winds, what is happening with the internal winds is that the internal winds are gathering at the navel center, and that's the fire element. It's this fire element that allows us to differentiate between a wholesome motivation and an unwholesome motivation. Then this is an element of grace. The unwholesome motivations are purified through these 6 aesthetic modes, or 6 kinds of beauty related to the senses. And then when that happens, you can have a spontaneous nature. Otherwise, what's happening at a debased level of motivation is happening at a level of utility and pleasure, which is has to be purified. Then Schopenhauer talked about this in terms of the will to representation, and he talked about art and aesthetics as basically nullifying this will to just keep repeating the same thing over and over again. So we really do have to go into a state of grace with these 6 graces and the aesthetics to achieve a spontaneity which is not repeatable. It's through that that we can achieve something like what happened in the Ramayana. There was a kind of oppressive state. The farmland was drying out. And so what happens is that this wind element, which is always called the wind horse, and which is embodied by Hanuman, and embodied by this vital principle, must always be present on the earth in order for things to be wholesome and not degenerate. So that's all for these mandalas right now.